Hey, what's up? This is the behind the scenes for Rocket League, the video.
Up.
I guess I'm doing a blue VFX explosion thingy.
Oh, it's gonna be a good video. Have you guys played Rocket League? It's a good game. It's a really fun game. We had a lot of remote control cars left over from when we shot the mini drones video from last year. And we were like, you know what? We should do a Rocket League video. So one thing you may have noticed in the video is that we are playing the game on our phones with a controller just right there. If you're wondering how it's possible, it's actually because Sony has this new thing called Remote Play, where you can actually stream your PlayStation to your phone and sit there and play on your phone in a remote location from your PlayStation. So you're basically getting the PS4 in a little mobile screen that you can play anywhere you have Wi-Fi or data connection, which is pretty cool. So we'd been wanting to make a real-life Rocket League video for a while, so we figured why not have us doing remote play, playing Rocket League, and then we take it a step further and we just play actual Rocket League right there, using the same controllers and everything. We're and I were kind of talking about different ways we could pull off the effect of, you know, cars jumping and flipping and all kind of stuff. And I was thinking, why not just go the classic old-fashioned route of puppetry? I actually did a little test, because I wanted to see if the effect would work. Made it and put it on my Instagram of just this little car, driving around, flying, landing on the wall, and then jumping off. By the way, if you want to see it, just go to follow @NicoDig. It's kind of like, from there, the expectations were that this video would look pretty neat, as long as we went through and executed how we were supposed to. We had two sticks, actually there are two arrows. We had two arrows without the tips that we duct taped, to the bottom of the car. We'd either do it from the front or from the side, and the reason we used two sticks is that way we could rotate the car. I just sat there and ran along with the car on two sticks, making it drive and jump and flip and all that kind of stuff. And it tried to be a mix of like hopping it and letting it naturally tumble and fall. So we ended up having to do a lot of takes over and over until I got the motion just right.
Especially when you're actually trying to hit the soccer ball.
Yeah, I did actually try to hit the soccer ball in a couple shots, which worked, which makes things look way more real. So then we had to paint me out. And to do that, Ren basically motion tracked the footage using Buju. Because we made a point of shooting in this alley because it's very simple geometry, meaning just a flat wall and flat ground. So it's very easy for Ren to then reproject a clean wall texture and a clean ground texture back into the scene. Ren here, of course, has gotten really good at projection mapping for doing paintouts with a moving camera in space, basically giving you unlimited freedom.
Yeah, it's pretty much my favorite effect now.
Yeah, so what that meant is that we didn't have to be too locked down with the camera. We could move it, we could do crazy stuff. Have somebody right there, moving the car, like practically holding onto it if you want to, and then you just remove the person and suddenly everything looks really strange and cool.
If you want to learn exactly how I did this effect for this video, I have a tutorial, link in the description right here. So the main concept of what's called projection mapping or camera mapping is you take an image and you project it onto a surface.
For example, let's say you went and you got a picture of a brick wall, and then in After Effects you built a plane. You could reproject that picture of a brick wall onto that plane, effectively texturing that plane with a brick texture. Now, in this alleyway, what we needed to do to remove me was basically make a clean background that was motion tracked with the scene.
Yeah, so I mean, like, so for the final big shot where the car's like flipping back to block the final goal, basically you would just project that frame onto that geometry, and then I would just rotoscope out Nico from the wall on the ground so that you would have like what looks like this wall with this big hole in it. And when you make enough of those little sections like that, you fill in all the gaps. So eventually you end up with this big giant clean plate of the camera going through the scene with nothing in it. Then after that, you rotoscope the car back into the shot, making it look like the car is just naturally there, moving on its own, like magic.
I meddled out. Stop touching me, guys!
You can get
My number one rule! Under no circumstances are you ever allowed to touch me.
Yeah, because that was another thing that was on the drawing board was, should we do like an entirely CG video where all the cars are CG and we're just like, you know, in little cockpits and stuff, trying to hit the balls? And ultimately that would have just been like prohibitively difficult to do.
Yeah, less impressive, honestly.
You know, it's kind of strange because you're right, it is. It's like you get all the CG, it's like the more CG stuff you add, the less impressive it becomes.
Well, it's the magic trick perspective, you know, it's VFX are doing magic tricks. Ideally, good VFX are doing magic tricks on film. You know, if something's a CG rendered object and you can tell it's a CG rendered object, then it's not a functional magic trick. It's like, I can tell how you did it. You used a computer and you generated that object. Versus if you have a real element that you filmed and it's composited into other footage that's also real, then it gets really hard to tell how it was done because everything's real. And so It's way better at tricking your brain, and it's way better at kind of triggering that magic trick effect that good visual effects can do. By CG, I mean like rendered out in like 3ds Max or Maya or something like that. When it's an actual filmed car, even if it's from a different shot where somebody's moving it on sticks, it just looks so much more realistic. And that's one of the keys to getting cool effects, is knowing when to get real elements as opposed to trying to build them in 3D. The video centers around us playing Rocket League in real life. But what about the rest of the video? Because that's like 25 seconds of the video, and you can't just upload that. So I decided to do kind of like a anime-inspired, just constant like zoom pushes. It's an interesting pacing, and it's an interesting like vibe throughout the video. It's just like go, 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 until we get to the fight. So, well.
What was your favorite moment on set? Seeing my wagon.
So Ren has this wagon. It's a nice wagon. It's actually a really nice wagon. It's hit our butts in many shoots.
He stole my wagon. The wagon disappeared like a month ago.
Spencer from Unit 6 was using it to clear out Unit 5 of garbage. Left it in the loading dock, and a homeless man took it.
The homeless man took my wagon. I'm gonna be the bigger man and not go steal it back. I wanted to go take it back, but then I would have felt bad for taking a wagon from a homeless man, even though it was my wagon.
Shout out to Sony Mobile for hooking it up. Thank you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was a lot of fun to make. The effects were really cool. And hopefully we've answered some of your questions regarding the trickery that we pulled in this video, and you can check out us in another Sam and Nico video 1 week from now. That's right. Every week we make one of these. It's great.